Hey guys, welcome back to Mike Reacts, and I'm back here with another Buddy Brown video that he posted about 4 days ago from the time of filming now. And it says, I don't know if America's ready for this conversation, ready being in capital letters. And I have no idea what conversation he's talking about. It's definitely going to be something that people view as probably wrongly so, but controversial nonetheless. So let's see what he's got to say. Before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Every like, every subscription really helps this small channel grow. And I'm really appreciative of every single subscriber. So if this is the kind of stuff that you enjoy, subscribe to the channel. And I promise you there's plenty of amazing content coming for you. And if you want to check out mine and my fiance's move to the United States, we are moving to Houston, Texas to be with our like-minded people. Check out my new channel. The link is down below in the description. It's a very new channel, and it's just it's a step by step of us moving from here to the US. So really exciting stuff. So don't forget to check that out, and check out my Patreon for more videos like this with more in-depth talk on politics, American economics, and really what's going on, State of the Union right now, what's going on in the United States. And its issues, because these are issues that are now going to affect me, and I've got some subscribers there that we all have a really close-knit community, and we can talk to each other, we can send private messages. So feel free to join that. The link is down below in the description of this video. It's just $5 per month, really not much at all, and we can have private conversations and even phone calls. So let's get to this video, see what Buddy Brown has to say about what America is not ready for. That's very true.
Top of the morning, y'all. Hope you're doing good. Happy November to you. I've got a great video I've been marinating for a long time, and I really hope that you're going to benefit like crazy out of this. This is just some back porch time, something you can watch and just put in your back pocket because it's wisdom, man. I just feel like it's something God gave me. We're so blessed to have conservative sponsors on here. We crashed these guys' website just about last time, readypantry.com. You know, I used to collect baseball cards. I used to collect things I thought would benefit me in the future. And now I'm stocking up on food like crazy because, like y'all, I can never have my wife or my kids look at me and say, Daddy, we're in the middle of war. What did you do to prepare food for us? You know, I mean, you went out and did all these other things. What did you do to stock up on food for us? I can't deal with that, y'all. So readypantry.com for the entire month of November. Just use code BUDDY72. They will throw in for free a 72-hour emergency food kit, which is awesome. readypantry.com. Stock up on this stuff, y'all. Woo! All right, so feminists are going to hate this video right off the bat. I'm just going to tell you, and
that means it's going to be a good video, let's be honest.
Probably is what makes it so great, but it is my personal opinion, y'all, that as I've been thinking about this for about a year before I even did this video, I personally believe that there are 3 men that your son or daughter desperately needs in his life, okay? Number 1, obviously, if you're blessed enough to have a father in your life, that is ideal. If he's alive, if he's present, hey, hands to Jesus, y'all. Just be thankful for that, because that right there is not something everybody has. Some of y'all have your dads with you, but he's not really involved at all, so he might as well not even be there, and that is tragic, okay? I know a lot of guys who have been there. Ideally, the first man your kids are going to meet is a strong, masculine role model who is your father. And there's a whole lot of options if you don't have that, so just bear with me, okay? The next option would be grandfathers or uncles, okay? A man that can kind of get away with not being part of the day-to-day, but they're there for the holidays, the birthdays, the weddings, you know, the phone calls. If you ever got to just shoot the breeze and you just want to talk to somebody who's not as close, to you as dad, those uncles and grandpas, they're awesome, man. You know, the only uncle I've ever had that was involved in my life and gave a crap at all is my Uncle Johnny up in Memphis. And every time I go to Nashville, Memphis is the halfway point to go record, you know, music and all that kind of stuff. And I meet my Uncle Johnny. We just have lunch, man. He actually cares. He's asking me what time I'm going to be up there, and he makes sure that we actually spend that time. And he's always just been a fantastic example to me. Other examples, I'd say a teacher, a coach, a youth group leader, a scoutmaster, a neighbor. Any man that you look up to could even be your boss. All right, so now that I've pointed out the who for who these men actually are, I want to point out how difficult it is to hardwire this stuff into our kids' brains. It is a full-time job, y'all.
Yeah.
And even if we bust our butts, you know, for all 18 years.
So this is really interesting, because obviously me and Tasha are, you know, going to get married, and of course the topic of conversation of children is, you know, is on the table. And we want to have loads, well, I want to have loads of kids. And we have to find a happy medium. And this is actually something that I'm genuinely worried about, because I thought as though raising kids 20, 30 years ago was a different story, because there wasn't so many outside and negative influences as there are now, such as social media and the internet and all these new and destructive ideologies. You know, kids used to be kids, and boys grew up tough and rough, and you know, girls grew up as little princesses, and that was fine. But now that's not really much. Everything's sort of skewed, and it's not the case. And you have to teach now your kids basic ways to act, and you know, as parents, that's going to be it won't be a challenge, because I think me and Tasha are really good role models for that. But the challenge is making sure they don't get infiltrated with the mentality of others that are around them, that have these neo-liberal ideas of what kids, men and women should be. But yeah, let's carry on.
Actually, in our house, we still watch them graduate high school, wondering if we did a good enough job. Amen? I believe that we can hardwire the good into them enough to be a successful kid if we have 3 men who are going to help us out.
And that's totally true. And I also want to add, you know, we're talking about men here, but also a strong mother is very important. And when I say a strong mother, I don't mean just because she's a single mother is, you know, can be a very strong mother. When I say a strong mother, I mean strong in terms of mental fortitude and what she wants for her children. You know, it doesn't let her kids walk all over her, and you know, I'm very blessed to have a mother like that, and I'm also very blessed to have a future wife who will definitely be like that with my children, and that's very important. There's also that side of nurture that mothers can provide far better than fathers can, and that's why men and women make such a great team in child rearing.
So your dad, if he's around and he's present, he's there to put boundaries and expectations in your life. But what happens around about 14 years old, kind of like mine are right now, is they start to try to navigate life on their own. And they're pushing a little bit back on dad's ways. That's just natural. A lot of people call it rebelling. I personally think it's awesome because it encourages independent thinking, right? Okay. I mean, even if they fail, they learn something besides the fact that they were wrong. They probably learned that, hey, dad might know what he's talking about. Now, my best friend in the world, y'all seen him on a couple videos.
And that's happened to me as well, you know, like everyone does as a teenager. And as you grow old and you realize, damn, my parents were right. They really were. This
is Bear. And my boys call him Uncle Bear. They've got huge respect for him. It's not just because he's got Viking heritage. It's not just because he's about 6'4", 335 pounds. He's a big old boy, but he commands respect. When Uncle Bear reaffirms something in their lives, it's almost like a double dose of truth. You know what I'm saying? And they realize that there's another man in their lives that are trying to show them the same path to success. They've also got their Uncle Dan up in Atlanta, their Uncle Phil down in Fort Myers, their Uncle Brian up in Kentucky. All men who they respect, and I guarantee you, if they said, sit down, I've got to tell you something, they will listen because these men have been there. They've invested the time. And that's about 5 men right there, so that's pretty blessed. Now, a little addendum I got to go ahead and make, y'all, is a little emphasis on the word man, okay? Maybe you got an uncle in your life, but he's ordering pumpkin spice lattes this time of year. That ain't what I'm talking about. He's going to be of no help whatsoever. If you've got a teacher or a coach or a neighbor who calls himself a man, but he rolls the bottom 2 inches of his jeans up and he doesn't even own a dadgum chainsaw, again, he's going to be no help whatsoever. I'm talking about a man who has a proven track record of taking care of his family, being consistent, and he's always in control. If you can find these 3 men for your kids, sons or daughters whatsoever, they ain't going to be perfect. They ain't going to be exempt from mistakes or hard times, but they've got a damn good...
Sorry, you saw me go... You saw my mind go somewhere. When you said the chainsaw, I remember I haven't used it in about a year and I can't remember where I put it. I'll have to find it tomorrow. No, that's not true. I used it about 6 months ago. We cleaned up a big part of the land. I need to sharpen it anyway. That's fine.
Chance at success is what I'm saying, y'all. And, you know, what they do with it is up to them. A real man loves to be counted on. A real man loves to come through.
Yes.
And if he doesn't want to be part of your...
That's so true. A real man actually likes the responsibility of having to take care of people. I love the fact that that I'm going to have people that are depending on me. I love that fact. I love the fact that I can solve problems for a lot of people in my life as opposed to cause them or need their help. whereas I actually am the one people can turn to for help. That is something that I'm really proud of. Really, really proud of.
Ernie, then he just ain't real. This is just a little backwoods wisdom, y'all. And it is the month of November when we think about men's health, men's lots of different things, even growing out beards. I hope you're doing that because that's really important. But I want to end this video by saying, write down some men in the comment section who were there for your sons or your daughters at pivotal times, what they did, maybe even remember their names. Growing up, I'm telling y'all, I say 3, I want to get my boys like 10 because that is going to give them the highest chance to be molded into the young man and eventually the man that they need to be. Hope this blesses you and just kind of wakes you up to the desperate need. We've thrown men out in society.
That's a really good point. You know, when you look at, I watched a really interesting clip. I'll tell you what, there's about 20 seconds left of this video. Let's finish this video and I'll tell you.
Some out, y'all. But there's those real ones that are still standing in the lines. Write their names down there. And hey, get you some readypantry.com. Use code BUDDY72 for this survival stuff. Stock up on that so you never have to worry. God bless y'all. Be good.
So I recently watched a series called Mindhunter, where it's about the first sort of criminal psychological analysts that started the program in the 70s with the FBI, and it's a drama, but it is based on true events and true serial killers, and there was a big underlying factor that really impacted these people that went and did these crazy stupid things, these disgusting horrible things, should I say, and a lot of them didn't have strong male role models in their life, and that's very interesting to think about. Some idolized their mothers or were sort of humiliated by their mothers and didn't have strong father figures around. And that tends to be the case with a lot of criminals too. Sorry, just to clarify, I'm not saying serial killers aren't criminals. I'm talking about petty criminals. People who aren't serial killers, but maybe commit robbery. Not only robbery isn't petty, but you know what I mean. Less serious crimes. Robbery and theft and assault, stuff like that, So that tends to be the case as well. There isn't a man or a strong father figure, or maybe an uncle or grandfather leading them straight or keeping them on the straight and narrow, and that tends to be the case. So he's got a very good point, a very, very good point, and that is the reasons are multifaceted. I mean, at the very base, it's keeping them out of trouble, serious trouble, and then you can really expound on that and talk about how a positive, strong male figure may teach them the importance of controlling emotions and emotional maturity, the importance of keeping healthy and strong, and what's expected of you as a man, because maybe a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have to figure that out for themselves, and that's not what I want for my children. My children are going to know exactly what is expected of them by the world, because the world can hit you hard. The world will hit you hard from day one. The moment you become an adult, the world's going to hit you hard, and it's going to be like, oh my god, I'm not prepared for this. But there are people out there who prepare their children properly, and their children take to it like a duck to water, and that is exactly what I want for my children. Anyway, that was great. Genuinely speaks the truth. And those supplies, I think maybe when I get out to Texas, I might get myself some of those. Seems like a pretty good idea. But really, really awesome. He speaks the truth, and there's no reason to distrust him, because, I mean, again, it's all opinion, but it's opinion that he's taken time to think about and actually understand himself before telling us. So I really, really appreciate that. Much like I do. I don't make any videos on a whim. I never watched them before, of course, but I try to do some research on the topic so I know what it is so I can really bring my thoughts together into one and give you a detailed and hopefully a concise understanding of where I stand on these issues. But that is definitely, I'm definitely with him on this one, 100%. Strong male figures, and I want to add, that's not taking away from having the nurturing aspect of a mother, because that's equally as important. But they both provide different benefits for a young man. And of course, young women need a different kind of guidance, but a strong male role model is still very, very important. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd be interested to know what your opinions are on this, because there are a lot of people who grew up with single mothers and actually became extremely successful, and there's nothing to take away from single motherhood, because you know, it happens. My parents aren't together anymore. I was never raised in a single parent household. By the time my parents separated, I was already an adult. I was 17, I suppose. So, and I was pretty much out of the house by then. So, yeah, it didn't affect me, I think, the same way it would affect someone who was young. Now, that's a very personal thing for me to tell you. But I have my opinions on, you know, I continue to have a very, very, very good relationship with my father. In fact, my father is one of the best people I know. He's absolutely incredible. And he did a fantastic job raising me, as did my mother. They both did fantastic jobs. Me and my sister both turned out okay, I guess. Which all you can really hope for. Every parent will project something onto their children that, you know, isn't beneficial. But then they can counter it with amazing parenting, which my parents did, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments. What do you think? Do you think Buddy Brown has a good point? Do you disagree with me? Do you disagree with him? Do you disagree with me entirely? Do you think we're being silly? I would love to know. And let me know if there's anything else similar to this that you want me to react to. I'm really getting into these kind of reactions that talk about serious issues. And I do tend to give my longer form opinion over on Patreon. I do longer videos there and I give more detailed opinions and really where I stand, uncensored, totally over there. So go down below in the description. You can find the link to my Patreon. It is only $5 per month, guys, for the basic access, and anything with, you know, complete advanced access will cost you $20 a month, which still is really minor compared to how much you might be spending on things like coffee, for example. Like coffee is a great example because I spend I only drink double espressos in the morning, but I spend about $3 every morning on a coffee. So that's $90 a month if you put it into that perspective. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything else I should react to. And I really hope to see you on my other channel where I show you and I describe to you every step of the way that I will be taking to go from living here in the UK, being a British citizen, to one day becoming an American citizen, and very, very soon I will be moving to Houston, Texas. That is in February of this coming year. So that is very exciting. In fact, I've got my interview pack for the US Embassy sitting right here on my desk that I've had a look through, and it is complex. So immigration law is no joke. But yeah, so head over there to see that, and head over to my Patreon with the link down below. $5 per month. You can see my uncensored opinions on issues like Donald Trump, the race, the current electoral race for candidacy, who will win the presidential election, the war in Israel, etc., etc. So head over there, and thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your support.